The year was 1865. The Civil War had just ended, and the Southeast was in ruins. Homes were destroyed, land was covered in blood-stained dirt, and many, many were dead. A Confederate war general by the name Robert Ellis was forced to leave his legion and return to his native land of northern Tennessee. His wife and son were killed when fleeing from war. Bullets shot them. All the poor man had left was him and his rifle. By this time, the man had grieved enough over his wife and lost son, but every now and then he had the urge to avenge his family. Robert's wife always wanted to own her own school, so he decided to build a small red schoolhouse and memorial for her. It was named Elizabeth W. Ellis, after Robert's wife. Because of the war, all schoolhouses were in shambles or transformed into hospitals. News about a school opening was huge. People were crazed to try to squeeze their child in a spot at the school. However, Robert did not intend for this to happen. It was a memorial site for his wife. The townsmen didn't care, though. They offered money left and right, but Robert denied. They offered more and more money, but he denied more and more, until finally an amount of $735 was waiting for him as long as he opened the school up. But he bought it, and it opened. As time progressed, the school's property was being treated like trash. Wood was coming off the house. People would go graze all over the property. It was not being respected. It soon became an acceptable place for drinking and gambling, but Robert did nothing. He was a wealthy man. He was receiving money per week for hosting such a place. More time passed, and it got worse, until finally, one day, an old woman came up to Robert and said,
"Beware the wrath of Elizabeth."
He never saw her again. 3 months had passed, and winter arose. The days got shorter. Night came fast. After a long day in the woods, Robert came home and got ready for bed. It was midnight. All was quiet. The sides of the house would usually creak in the wind, and every now and then he could feel the house shake. Robert then heard something. Again, but much louder. Immediately, Robert shot up with the rifle in hand and looked out the window. He saw nothing. The next morning, Robert went to check if there was anything that could make a tapping noise on the window. There was nothing. After another long day of hunting, Robert closed his shutters on his windows. Midnight rose again. Robert sprang up from sleep. It was a stormy night. The thunder woke him up. There was tapping, and it was loud. The tapping then sounded like he was at his door, now coming from behind him, to his left, to his right. Silence. Then a knock at his front door. Robert reached for his gun, which was always loaded, and shot his front door, hoping to kill whatever was there. Then the knocking appeared everywhere. He shot left and right, left, right. Silence. Then Robert thought he heard his wife scream. He sprang out of his bed with rifle in hand and busted out the house. He heard the scream again. All of a sudden, he saw his wife 30 yards away, just standing there, crying. She had a white, tattered robe. Her long, black, thin hair was wet and dirty. Her skin, pale. Robert ran up to her. When he arrived, her crying shifted into laughter. Terrifying laughter. Robert was paralyzed with fear. He tried to shoot, but he was out of ammo. The woman then turned around. She had no eyes. Blood dripped from her sockets. She pronounced,
"Respect my home. Respect my home!"
Robert was never to be seen after that day, marked December 24th. However, there was one witness, a little boy by the name Walt. He went to tell the countrymen about what he saw. No one believed. They say, Robert just died of a heart attack. He always ate poorly anyways. Soon the men felt inclined to honor Robert of his gift to them, the schoolhouse. So they renamed the school Robert E. Ellis. Over the years, the school progressed and progressed. However, all memories of Robert E. Ellis were lost, and most importantly, all memories of Elizabeth W. Ellis were lost. Some say Robert still haunts the building, but really, the true owner of the building remains.